Hello, friend. Today we'll be simulating a multi-lab exercise. This simulation will put us in a dual role. In the day, we take the role of Elliot Anderson, a cybersecurity analyst working for OSIF security service provider. We are tasked with the responsibility of defending e-core infrastructure against a notorious known hacking group, F Society. In the second role, you take the place of Mr.Robot, Elliot Anderson's alternate personnel. At night, we attack the same infrastructure that we defend. This simulation will give us the flexibility to practice our offensive and our defensive skills. Without further ado, let's get started. Before we get started, I would like to put this out there. This content is created for educational and ethical purposes only. All demonstrations are performed in a controlled lab environment using authorized systems. This is inspired by real-world cybersecurity scenarios similar to those portrayed in Mr.Robot, but does not promote or encourage illegal activity. Always practice cybersecurity responsibly and within legal boundaries. Unauthorized use of techniques outside a controlled lab environment may violate laws and regulations. In the phase of the lab, the focus is on preparing both the red and blue team environment for simulating attack. From the Mr.Robot red team perspective, the objective is to generate initial payload required for the operation. This includes creating a downloader and a reverse shell, then preparing a phishing email that will be used to deliver the malicious file to the target. The payload will be packaged inside a .iso attachment to make it appear legitimate. Once executed on the victim machine, the downloader will retrieve the reverse shell, allowing F Society to gain remote access to the recovery's workstation, which represents a high-value system inside the e-core network. From the Elliot Blue Team perspective, the goal is to design the defensive monitoring strategy for the organization. This involves evaluating different SIM options, comparing the advantages and limitations, and selecting the most suitable platform to protect the e-core environment. After choosing the SIM, the next step is to install and configure it, then deploy monitoring agent to the Windows system in the works in the network so that the security event can be collected and analyzed during upcoming attack simulation. Now, before we get started, let me take an overview of my lab topology. Here is the PF-Sense. It serves as the firewall and the router, and also use segmentation. Here is my Kali Linux box, the attack system on the attack LAN. Here is the eCore Enterprise with my two Windows victim systems. I have the Metasploit and the domain controller. Now, I will jump over to my Kali Linux where we will create the initial payload for the attack simulation. So I have to log in to my Calibos. Now I'm inside my Calibos. Let me enlarge this a little bit. Now we have to craft the payload. We generate the payload. I'll just grab the command from my blog. Now, this is the command that will generate the payload for us. Let's break down what's happening here. This is MS Venom, part of the Metasploit framework. The -P flag means the type of payload that we want to generate. In this case, we are generating a Windows reverse shell payload. The L host means the listener host. This is our IP, attack bus IP will be there. But before we proceed, let's verify our attack bus IP. There are different ways to do this. I normally like doing mine with IPR. So this is our IP 10.0.3.16. So we edit it from here. .3.16. Then the L port is the listening port. We'll leave it at 1337. Then the name of the file will be any statements.txt. It's supposed to be the .bat file for smooth download on our victim's machine. We are going to keep it at .txt. So after the download, we are going to convert it to .file. Let's proceed. You hit enter. You give it some time to generate the payload. All right, looks like the payload has been generated. To make sure of that, we do ls. Yes, you can see the any statement.txt. Let's cut it and see what it looks like. Once you start typing the name of the file you want and you hit tab, it autocompletes. Now, this is what the script looks like. Let's explain what's going on here. Once this script is executed on the victim's system, it launches the PowerShell in a hidden mode. That means it will stay open. Then it sends an outbound connection to our attack machine with this IP with the listening port of 1337. So that's a short explanation of what's happening here. If you want to understand the remaining, you can research on them. And let me clear the time now. Now, after that, we need to set up a Python web server. .server. This is running on port 8000. If you did not indicate the port, it automatically by default runs on port 8000. Now that the server is up, let's stand our netcard listener on port 1337. You do that by using this command nc-vp, the port 1337. Now it's listening on port 1337 for any connection. This is where our reverse shell will be connected once the payload has been executed. I think we are done with our attack bus, the setup on our attack bus. We will move over to our victim machine. Okay, now that we are on our Windows victim machine, we will create the downloader. I'll just copy the downloader script from my blog. Yeah, I'll paste the downloader script here. Okay, I will leave a link to my blog where you get all the scripts and the command you need in this hands-on lab. So I had to change the IP of my Kali box. So you have to replace the IP with the IP of your own Kali box. Now, basically, this is what's happening in this script. When executed, it sets the current directly to the location of the .bat file, and it downloads the any statement. The PowerShell invokes a web request to our Kali box. Then it outputs the files into the template of the victim machine as any statement. Remember that you always have to craft your downloader on a Windows VM. Yes, you can always use one of your Windows VM to craft the downloader. So after crafting the downloader, we have to save the file as on zipper.bat. Save as on zipper. .bat. You save it to your desktop. After that, let's create a test file and you can type or paste the details of our victim, Kobe. I'll just copy the details from my blog. I'll paste the details here. We just save it as bonus.txt file. Bonus is a txt file. So you just proceed to save it. So now we create a folder and name the folder bonus. Now let's first move our unzipper file into our bonus file. Then before we move our bonus test file, let's use the PowerShell to compress the bonus test file. I'll just grab the command from my blog. So I'll paste it here. Now what this does, it compresses this, it zips this file. You hit enter, give it some time. It's compressing. What could be the problem? Filepath.txt does not exist or is it invalid file paths. Okay, I think we have to cd to the location of the file. It is located at users price desktop, I think. Should be. Okay, the file is here. Let me just grab the command to compress it. Should compress now. It's compressing. As you can see, it's compressed. Now the next step is to move this file into the bonus folder. Now we have the bonus zip file and the unzipper in the bonus folder. So what next? We need to convert this to an ISO file, .iso file. So for that, we have to download Windows ADK. Yeah, just grab the link to download Windows ADK from my blog. I'll just paste it here and visit the site. Okay, the download page is here. We click on it, download the Windows ADK 10.1.26100. That's the first one there, December 2024. It's downloading. Now to X1 out. Okay, it's done downloading. Now we go to the downloads location. Okay, we have to double click on it to install it. I'll pause this video while it installs and I'll be back to it after the installation. Now the ADK is done installing. We close the window. Now we have to navigate to the ADK folder. Let me grab the command from my blog. I'll paste the command there. This folder is part of the Windows Assessment and Development folder. What could be the problem? Okay, I'll find out what the issue is. The issue was because we didn't launch the PowerShell with administrator privilege. Now we've done it and we'll see it to the location of the Windows Kit and Development folder. Now let's convert our bonus folder to .iso image. Yes, we just converted it to .iso image. So this phase of preparing the payload for the attack simulation is over. The initial phase is over. Now the next phase will be to craft our phishing email. But before that, let's test our .iso image file. We do that by double clicking on the .iso file. It should mount to the next available drive letter, which in my own case is drive E. As you can see, the unzipper bat file and the zip bonus file. So we have to craft our image to be able to convince Kobe, the victim, to click on this unzipper file. This is the downloader. Now I've already crafted the email. All I have to do is go to my downloads, which I'll leave the link to this email folder in my blog for you to be able to access it if you want. You scroll down to Kobe 11. You open it with Thunderbird. You have to download Thunderbird. The link is also in my blog. Here is the crafted phishing mail. As you can see, it's from sender hr.eco.com. Eco.com O is actually a spoof email. It's addressed to tkobe@eco.com. The email reads, the subject is executive bonus, immediate action required. From the tone on the subject, you already can tell it's a phishing email because it requires immediate action. Dear Mr. Kobe, we are pleased to inform you that as part of our company's recent success, you have been selected to receive an executive bonus. It's a financial inducement to make the victim click on the file without thinking much about it. This is the aspect of social engineering. To ensure your bonus is processed in the next cycle, we kindly request that you review and confirm your details included in the attachment. Please use the unzipper file to prepare to unzip the file. If the information is correct, there is no need for further action. Please complete the confirmation by the end of the day to avoid delays. Best regards, HR. And this is the file. So I employed a little bit of artificiality to deliver this file, but in real life simulation, you have to send this through an email with a file attached. So when Kobe received this email, after reading the social engineering crafted email, he will be tempted to download the bonus.iso file. And when he downloads the bonus.iso file, it gets to his downloads in this format. Then he double clicks it. It mounts on the next available drive, like ours did here in the drive E. Then according to the mail, he was instructed to use the unzipper file to unzip this bonus. So that's what Kobe is going to do. Now let's unzip the bonus file. Before that, let's make sure our Calibus is still up. Let's jump over to our Calibus. Yeah, the web server is still up.